How Costco actually makes money. How can Costco sell products at incredibly low prices and still make billions of dollars every year? The answer is surprisingly simple. Costco doesn't make its money the same way most retailers do. In fact, one of the most important parts of Costco's business happens before you even buy anything. You pay Costco for a membership, then you shop. And that simple idea has created one of the most successful retail businesses in the world. In fiscal year 2025, Costco generated almost $270 billion in sales and more than $8 billion in net income. The company had around 81 million paid members and operated 914 warehouses worldwide. So why does this business work? Let's break it down. Most retailers make money by buying products cheaply and selling them at a higher price. Costco does something different. It deliberately keeps its product margins low. In 2025, Costco's gross margin was only about 11%. That means Costco isn't trying to make a huge profit every time you buy something. Instead, it wants you to believe that you're getting a really good deal. And when customers believe Costco consistently has low prices, they don't need to compare every product with 5 other stores. They just come back to Costco. This creates something extremely valuable: volume. Costco sells enormous quantities of merchandise. Its warehouses are huge, products are often sold in large packages, and the company carries a surprisingly limited selection compared with traditional supermarkets. A Costco warehouse carries fewer than 4,000 active products. That might sound like a disadvantage, but it's actually one of Costco's strengths. If Costco sells only a few versions of a product, it can buy enormous quantities of each one. And buying millions of units gives Costco much more negotiating power with suppliers. The supplier gets a huge order. Costco gets a lower price. And customers get lower prices. Everyone wins. But this still doesn't explain the most important part of Costco's business: the membership. In the United States, a basic Costco membership costs $65 per year. An executive membership costs an additional $65. At the end of fiscal 2025, Costco had approximately 81 million paid members. And those members generated about $5.3 billion in membership fees during the year. This is extremely valuable revenue. When Costco sells you a television, the company first has to buy that television. It has to store it, transport it, pay employees, and take the risk that the product won't sell. Membership revenue is different. When you renew your membership, Costco gets another year's revenue from you without having to sell you a specific product. But the membership does something even more important. It changes your behavior. Imagine you've already paid $65 for Costco. Now you want to make sure that money wasn't wasted. So when you need groceries, tires, a television, clothes, medicine, or even gasoline, Costco becomes one of the first places you consider. You're not just asking, is Costco convenient? You're also asking, am I getting enough value from my membership? That encourages people to shop more. And Costco has very strong customer retention. In 2025, its membership renewal rate was about 92% in the United States and Canada and almost 90% worldwide. That's an incredibly powerful business model. Costco doesn't have to find a completely new customer every year. Most existing customers simply pay again. Then there's the executive membership. Executive members pay more, but they receive rewards based on qualifying purchases. And that creates another incentive to spend more. The more you buy, the more rewards you can earn. The more rewards you earn, the easier it is to justify the membership. So you renew. Then you come back and spend more. It's a loop. Costco also makes money from much more than groceries. Its business includes gasoline, pharmacies, optical services, tires, food courts, travel, e-commerce, and other services. Gasoline is especially interesting. Costco operates hundreds of gas stations, and gasoline represents a significant amount of its sales. But the gas business isn't only about selling fuel. Cheap gasoline brings people to Costco. They stop for gas. Then they walk into the warehouse. And suddenly they're buying groceries, electronics, clothes, or something they didn't plan to buy. The gas station creates traffic. The warehouse increases the size of the shopping basket. And the membership keeps the customer coming back. There is another important part of the Costco model: Kirkland Signature. Kirkland is Costco's private label brand. Costco says its private label products help reduce costs, differentiate the company from competitors, and generally provide higher margins than national brands. So Costco isn't simply a middleman between manufacturers and customers. It also controls part of the products it sells. And all of these pieces work together. Low prices attract customers. Membership creates recurring revenue. Membership creates loyalty. Loyal customers shop more frequently. More customers create more sales. More sales give Costco greater purchasing power. Greater purchasing power helps Costco negotiate better prices. And lower prices attract even more customers. It's a giant flywheel. And that's the real secret behind Costco. The company isn't trying to make the most money from every individual product. It's trying to make a relatively small amount from an enormous amount of merchandise while keeping customers loyal. In 2025, Costco generated about $270 billion in sales and $8.1 billion in net income. It operated 914 warehouses around the world and continued opening new locations. So, how does Costco actually make money? The answer isn't simply by selling cheap products. Costco makes money by building an entire system around membership. Customers pay for access. Costco gives them low prices. Low prices create trust. Trust creates loyalty. Loyalty creates more purchases. More purchases create enormous volume. And enormous volume gives Costco the power to keep prices low. That's why Costco can look like one of the cheapest retailers in the world while still generating billions in profit. The real business isn't just selling products. It's creating a system that makes customers want to keep coming back. And once they do, volume becomes more powerful than margin. That's how Costco actually makes money.